and good morning from SA Riverland Farming with the Ollies. It's the beginning of the new year and I wish to put a YouTube clip together to say hope you had a great Christmas and a wonderful new year. I've got a little YouTube clip here to string together just to talk about what's happened in our year, how things have grown, how things have changed, blessings and challenges, and to even look at what's ahead for this coming year. So grab a cuppa, sit down, relax and enjoy. The year began as normal with school holidays and the normal summer heat. But as the month went on, one of the bad storms that had hit other Riverland towns at the end of last year also came across and hit our property too. It went right across in front of the house and through the sheds and even to an old house on the other side of our property, and also hit the KIP campsite as well. We had a lot of trees down, a lot of clearing to do, roofs off of houses and buildings, which thankfully wasn't the one that we actually lived in, just other ones around the place. And yes, and even a lightning bolt came and struck this gum tree, and the CFOs had to watch that for a few days. It did scare the family, especially the children, but they had a lot of fun afterwards, as you saw in the mud, and just with the other things that happen with water. Children always love water. Our goat's milk soap that's made here on our farm has been made this year. I haven't done the markets consistently this year as I found that they didn't follow a routine. I found it a little tricky, but I've been knocking on stores in our town in Waikerie and I've been so happy to see that the goat's milk soap has now been sold in Viewpoint Cafe, Cafe on McCoy, and even now CNC Cycles in Waikerie. So it's been a great privilege to work with these people and to see this happening. We've had a lot of fun around the farm just with camping and little fires and toasted marshmallows or s'mores or just digging in the sand. The children really love doing this kind of thing and winter's a great time for this. So whenever we do or have an opportunity, we will do this. We might be in the middle of sorting sheep and have a nice morning tea together, or we might take a special trip out to the sandhills and just build a billy and just toast some marshmallows. It's a lot of fun and we really enjoy it. These photos here are from camp at the HIP campsite, and we camped there in the middle of the year and just really love it. HIP camp has been so much fun this year. I've loved watching it grow. Down he goes. Oh my God. Very clever. Very clever. We've had a variety of different people come, just families, horse riding people, the pony club, singles, photographers, families, just a whole group, people who travel Australia, just locals. And it's been such a privilege just to be able to host these people and the enjoyment that they've had while being here. So I've really, really enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to this next year to see what it brings for us. Yes, we did have some mishaps this year, and one of which Matthew actually did a green fracture in his arm and required us to go upriver and Gawler and Adelaide. And we even had William thinking he had broken his arm this year too. So we've had a few little trips, a bit of excitement, some adventure and some learning. But they've all been good opportunities, although they've been sometimes inconvenient. And the boys especially enjoyed going to the Birdwood Museum to see the jigger, which the children are actually related to the boys who made it, or the men should I say. I really enjoyed the garden this year. With COVID and the prices of veggies going up and all that sort of thing, I decided to do the gardening in more depth this year. So it's been a challenge in some ways, keeping up with it, putting it together, the time it takes to actually get it going, and also being able to get everybody involved. So you're not doing on your own, and being homeschoolers, also making it inclusive so that the children are learning where food comes from, what it's all about and how it's good for you. But the garden's really come along. It's just been amazing. We've had so many lettuces and now cucumbers, tomatoes, the herbs are taking off, and it's been such a blessing and just so good. So yes, and we preserve our food where we can. So relish, tomatoes, tomato paste, dehydrating apples and preserving apples, all those sorts of things. It's just a part of our normal life. And now to our sheep work. Sheep work includes all of us, and everybody really likes to get out and enjoy the sheep work. Happy little chappy. He's finally got his first ride on the motorbike. We have a variety of things that we do between bringing them in. We have to check all the lambs every year and mark them, give them all the things they need. We've got to move paddocks, or the sheep from paddock to paddock. We always have to shear them or crutch them, shear the lambs. So we try and get as involved as a family as much as possible. It's also a really good opportunity for the children to have their driving lessons or motorbike lessons. Or this time, bringing the pet kangaroo home because she decided to join us. That was quite funny actually. So yeah, so there's many who like to ride their motorbikes and others who like to ride the horses. And it's good having the flexibility and the enjoyment in choosing these things. So the children are very privileged. I don't think they realise how privileged they are at times. So yes, they're all learning good skills, and again, being homeschoolers as well, this is their real life learning, and all these skills become part of who they are and learning about life and what life's about, as well as of course learning your normal schoolwork with your normal maths and English and all those sorts of things. So it's quite a privilege. Yes, the little boys and their lambs, aren't they cute? I often like doing these scenic photos, they're just lovely. And the big thing that was kind of really unexpected this year was the flood. So it's been interesting travelling around the towns and being a part of the community and hearing and learning about what's going on and actually learning about what's happened in the past with the floods. It wasn't until this flood hit we knew of the 1956 and things like that, but to actually see it come up so much and see how much it affects things on people, it's been quite amazing. So yeah, so there's each of the towns and watching the water level, especially in Waikerie, going up over the weeks. And this photo here was quite recent and actually happened to be the last day the ferry ran. So I felt quite privileged to capture that. Thank you for taking the time to watch and learn about what's happened for us over this last year in 2022. I guess the question is, what will 2023 hold for us? Of course, there are a lot of unknowns, but there are a few things that we do know. There are going to be some friendships made.
Oh, really? You're trying to make friends with Jasper. Sonny, you going to say hello to Jasper? Sonny.
Already? No! It doesn't go to my stick!
Where we need help along the way. Should we break this stick for Lily and help each other? It's easy, isn't it? Sometimes it's hard. The stick doesn't want to rip. It's a bit hard. There we go. Got your stick for Sunny and for Lily. Do you want 2 sticks? You're not watching me videoing again. Hey! Learning new ways of doing things like doing sheep work on the one wheel. Actually, William got this one wheel for saved up to his birthday and Christmas. And look at them go. They're great things. He's really enjoyed doing sheep work with it. I wouldn't recommend all farmers round up sheep with their one wheels, but it's a good hobby, isn't it, Will? Do you enjoy it?
Yes, a lot of fun.
Yeah, listening to the plane that travels across and above us, but most days, sometimes several times a day, is coming to the flood watch. Can you hear it? There it goes. It's directly overhead. Generally it's once a day for the people or tourists and even locals who are watching the Riverland flood. And what's going to happen with the flood? Well, it's reached its peak in Waikerie now, January 2023, and it's going to go drop and it'll also peak again. But what will the next year hold? We really don't know. The Riverland towns have been strong as a community and held well together as the floods have come through over the summer period. And going by history, generally the first flood isn't a big flood. So we're hoping that this is the only flood and it goes back to normal after this, but we're also being aware and prepared that maybe next year or the year after will actually be a bigger flood. So to look forward, not forward as in be excited, but looking ahead to be prepared for what might still be yet to come, because the river was really quite high this year. So it's been an interesting experience. It's been an interesting conclusion to the year and beginning to this next year, and we don't know what it'll hold. And of course there's our sheep work, our merinos. Well, this last year or two has gone quite well actually. We've been proud of our sheep, where they're at, what they're doing, how well they're growing. We've put on extras this year because of all the rain we had throughout this last year, especially in the spring period. So we wait to see how they're going. We will move some on in autumn because it's what we do normally do, and we brought in more wethers, so we'll move them off before the ewes have their lambs this coming winter. We hope this next coming year goes well for us with our merinos, and we look forward to all the other things it holds. Things as the family. There's my little man again coming to join in. going through things as a family, doing our work, enjoying hip camp. Loved hip camp over last year. Look forward to what it can hold over the next year again, and also soap. Enjoy making our ghost milk soap and enjoyed being able to sell it locally. This year it's been really good, so we'll look forward to all these things that'll come ahead. And so don't forget to like and subscribe as our adventures continue throughout this year. Keep up to date with what's happening on the farm and all these other little bits and pieces that happen, and even the flood as it continues to go down. Till next time, from SA Riverland Farming with the Ollies.